This is how you do it. You sit down at the keyboard and you put one word after another until it's done. It's that easy and that hard." End quote. And this was written by Neil Gaiman. According to Jeff Bigler on MIT.edu, which was last updated on July 16th of 2001, the first practical typewriter was invented by Christopher Latham Scholes and was marketed by the Remington Arms Company in 1873. This typewriter has led to the invention of the computer we use today. Some essentials for understanding the typewriter are its history, how it works, and its transition to the computer. The history of the typewriter is very important to understand. According to dictionary.com, copyrighted in 2015, a typewriter is, quote, "a machine for writing mechanically in letters and characters like those produced by printers' types," end quote. The typewriter originated in the United States in 1868, and the main inventor of the typewriter was Christopher Latham Scholes. He was a Milwaukee newspaperman, poet, and a part-time inventor. He worked with Charles Glidden and Samuel W. Soule. The Remington No. 1 was the first typewriter to reach the market in 1874. It only printed in capital letters, and it was ignored by most people because they tended to write letters, so they found the mechanical writing kind of offensive. Once people started getting used to typewriters, they became curious about how they worked. Now that you know what a typewriter is, you should get an understanding about how it works. According to explainthatstuff.com, last updated on December 7th of 2014, quote, "a typewriter like this is completely mechanical, powered entirely by your fingertips, and it has no electrical or electronic parts." How it works. What you do is you would press a key, and it has a level, and it would swing towards another level and it'd go towards the paper, and there would be a ribbon that would go up in between the level and the little carrier, and then your imprint would be made, and then the spring would make the hammer fall back down, and the whole carriage would shift a space to the left so that your letters don't overlap. And the different keyboards used were the Dvorak keyboard, which minimizes travel from letter to letter. So you would have your vowels right here, and then some of your more common consonants. And then you have the QWERTY keyboard, which is invented by Christopher Latham Scholes. It gets its name from the order of the top 6 keys. And it was used to slow down the typists to avoid the jamming of their keys, and it is still the most common keyboard used. From the printing press to the computer, technology has always been improving. Since you know some things about the typewriter, it's important to recognize how it has developed into devices much like the computer. Some businesses still use typewriters, and most people believe that typewriters are more for small or common jobs. However, manufacturers in the Eastern Hemisphere are supplying the typewriter market. The Boyce Manufacturing Company, founded in India, is the largest producer of typewriters in the world. Typewriters are very popular with collectors and will hold great value in the future. Antique merchants and specialists buy and sell the rarer types of typewriters. As ComputerHope.com, copyrighted in 2015, said, quote, "the first mechanical computer was created in 1822 by Charles Babbage," end quote. This invention caused the decrease in household sales for the typewriter. Even today, we are striving to create the perfect machine. Soon, the computer will be as uncommon as the typewriter. During my speech, I have told you about the invention of the typewriter. This included the history of the typewriter, how it functions, and the transition from the typewriter to the computer. Just think, if Christopher Latham Scholes hadn't decided to make the typewriter, we wouldn't be able to electronically communicate with each other. In fact, we wouldn't even be able to take this class.